Hello students. Because of this COVID second wave, we were unable to continue the physical classes. So again, we are continuing these classes by online. Better to attend these classes and go through whatever it is taught in online classes and read the book, read in your books. And any problems we can discuss later if you want. So today we are covering fungal and viral corneal ulcers, that is keratitis. Last time in classes we studied about the bacterial corneal ulcer. So in continuation that the infective part, it is fungal and viral corneal ulcer. So fungal corneal ulcer, also called as a mycotic corneal ulcer, it is most probably seen in a people who are working in a fields and all, because they are get exposed to or get traumatized by this vegetative materials most commonly, and apart from that it is commonly seen in the immunocompromised persons like retroviral infected patients or patients on radiotherapy or chemotherapy because of the cancer patients. So the vegetative matter may be in the form of thorn, wooden stick, or the sugar cane. The most commonest fungi are Aspergillus falciparum. Apart from that are the alternate media, Penicillium, and Candida cryptococcus. Usually the patient comes to you with the similar complaints like in bacterial corneal ulcer, like pain, redness, foreign body, watering, photophobia, and blurred vision would be there. But the difference between this bacterial and fungal corneal ulcer is bacteria will have uh, the more symptoms than signs, where in fungal the patient have the less symptoms but have the more signs. So when you go through this, see the pictures of these ulcer, you will have the ulcer with the feathery margins. You can make out there are irregular feathery margins you can make out, and there is a thick hypopyon which is almost immobile, and you can see the multiple the satellite centers, that is here the main ulcer is there, and surrounding some patchy areas. These are the new involvement of the stroma of because of fungus. So these we call it as the satellite areas. So feathery margins, dry looking ulcer, and you have a satellite center. Sometimes there is a immunological ring, that is the ring of Weasley we call it as, that will be present, and the thick hypopyon. Okay, and later on the entire cornea will be involved if the treatment is not given timely. Okay, so how you proceed? Basic investigation, you know, that is the sugar level has to be checked, and the basic CBC and urine examination to know the any other infective part in the body, and the specific investigations last time we discussed in the form of the slides with the QH preparation, gram staining, culture by Severus Dextrose agar, and nowadays the new methodologies are polymerase chain reaction and confocal microscopy examination. In that, the detailed involvement of the corneal stroma with the fungus filaments we can make out clearly. Okay. Then what is the treatment? The treatment, the broad spectrum antifungal drugs in the form of topical, that is natamycin, amphotericin B, and voriconazole drops are available. Sometimes the patient need the single topical drug, sometimes needs the multiple drugs. And if the severity is more stroma is involved, more than the two-thirds of the cornea, you can go for the ketoconazole after checking the liver function test. Then if there is any suspicion of posterior segment is also involved, then you have to go for the intravitreal injections. And the patient is not responding the topical, and it is a static. In that time, voriconazole drops can be drops in the form that whatever the vial it is available, dilution is made and it is injected into the stroma surrounding that ulcer, so that it gives a direct the drug for the longer period of time into the stroma, and that's helps in the reduction of the infection. Apart of that, the supportive treatment in the form of analgesics and cycloplegics are given. In case if it is not resolving, then we have to go for the therapeutic penetrating keratoplasty. Then move on to the next, the keratitis, that is the viral keratitis. In this, we know that one is the herpes simplex and the other one is the herpes zoster. So what is this herpes simplex? You know about this virus. It is there are two types in that, HSV1 and HSV2. HSV1 causes the infection above the waist, whereas HSV2, that is we call it as herpes genitalis, that is below the waist, it gets infected. Okay, so it will cause keratoconjunctivitis, that is involvement of the conjunctiva, cornea as well as the iris. It is a DNA virus. Okay, so HSV1, it infected by the person coming in contact with the person already infected, the patient already suffering from this herpes labialis or the any sort of herpes infection. So how the patient presents to you, it may be a primary infection, that is a first time infection, or there can be the infection has occurred and there is a recurrency of infection. So the primary infection, first time when it is involved, the patient may present with the skin lesions, or conjunctiva is involved and the cornea is involved. The skin, you will have a typical follicles and the lid edema will be there, and in cornea, you may have a punctate epithelial keratitis, dendritic, geographical, and in stromal, deciform, diffuse stromal necrotic keratitis, and metaherpetic. What all these? Okay, the patients of the primary ocular herpes usually comes with a mild fever. There will be a myalgia will be there, and on examination, lymphadenopathy will be there, and sometimes the patient go for the encephalitis. As I told you, the skin involvement in the form of the edema will be there, and the follicles on the eruptive follicles will be seen on the face and the lids and the lid margins. Okay, conjunctivitis usually presents in the form of the acute follicular conjunctivitis with the lymphadenitis, and in a recurrent type, usually the virus remains in a dormant state in trigeminal ganglion. Whenever there is a stress stimuli in the form of patient to get exposed to heat or immunocompromised or any fever is there, again there will be triggerness of this virus and again spreads along the nerve and causes the infection. So again the symptoms will be redness, photophobia, lacrimation, pain and decreased vision will be there. And as I told you, the epithelial keratitis in the form of the punctate type and dendritic type, that is irregular zigzag linear branching shape of ulcer will be there, and all these correlates together form a irregular big ulcer that we call it as a geographical or the amoeboid ulcer. Okay, so what is the treatment for this the specific epithelial keratitis? You can go for the acyclovir ointment, because any antiviral drugs won't come in a drops, they always come in a ointments. So keep it in mind. So the most commonly used is a cyclor ointment 5 times a day for 2 to 3 weeks you can use, and as there is a irregular surface, you need to use a lubricants consistently, and sometimes you can go for the mechanical debridement. And in very severe case, you can start with the systemic antiviral drugs in the form of acyclovir tablet 400 mg BD for 2 to 3 weeks. So along with that, the supportive therapy, you know, that is cycloplegic, dog goggles and supplementation. When the stromal keratitis is there, it is most of the time because of the HSV antigen, or sometimes only in the endothelitis it causes, that leads to the very disc shape, that is around circular, the disc edema will be there, and can see the some folds in the descemet membrane and keratic precipitates. Corneal sensation is reduced. So this is how the the discoid or the disc shape, the stromal edema is seen. Okay, so there may be or may not be involvement of the epithelium in such cases. So for this, along with that, the antiviral treatment, the steroid will go. Steroid is must needed in case of the stromal keratitis. If it is a necrotic keratitis, the patient will have tissue destruction and the patient will have a lot of photophobia redness. And you can see the necrotic botchy, the chichi white infiltrates in the stroma. And here, along with the mild steroids can be used along with the antiviral cover. So the keratoplasty is the last treatment of any keratitis. So the metaherpetic keratitis is what here there is no infection. Already the infection has occurred and healed, but there is a mechanical healing problem. The patient will have as the sensation is lost, there will be continuous epithelial abrasions or some sort of non-healing process takes place, and the patient is will have the continuously epithelial defect and the symptoms will be there. So in such cases, better to go for the lubricants and bandage contact lens and tarsorefit so that the rest is given for the epithelialization. Okay, again in the recurrent herpetic keratitis, the similar features can be seen like the primary. Now coming to the next lesion, that is herpes zoster, varicella zoster we call it as. So again, this is most seen in immunocompromised person whenever the immunity is less. Okay, and this is also neurotopic ulcer, most commonly resides in the Caesarean ganglion whenever it is infected. So along with the nerves, the fifth cranial nerve, whichever the nerves come across, it leads to the spread of the infection. So most commonly involved nerve that is it spreads to is the frontal nerve and lacrimal and nasociliary nerve. So there is a dictum that whenever there is a involvement of the nose is there with these follicles, that we call it as a Hutchison rule. That time the involvement of the eye is more frequent. So that is we call it as a Hutchison rule. Okay, so we know that the lesions are confined to only the confined half of the midline of the head. Okay. So it may present in the form of acute, chronic, or the relapsing lesions. So the general features the same. Any viral infection patient will have the fever, malaise, and severe neuralgic pain along the affected nerve. Initially, the patient will have the prodromal symptoms in the form of the very like burning sort of sensation in a specific areas. Over the period of time, the patient will have the eruption of these follicles in the specific area. So the skin becomes and the lid becomes edematous and vesicles will be there. Sometimes they may get infected forming the pustules and later they become the crusting ulcers. So in ocular, we'll have the sometimes mucopurulent conjunctivitis or the acute conjunctivitis. This is how the picture is seen whenever there is a frontal and mesociliary nerves are involved. So almost the patient eyes closed and sometimes unable to retract because almost it is stick with the discharge and all. So slowly you have to clean the eye and remove all the crust and try to use the lubricants and the antiviral drugs. So whenever there is a corneal involvement, you can see the fine coarse punctate keratitis. There can be a microdendritic ulcers. Comparatively, the dendrites are very short and it have the tapering ends zoster than herpes simplex. And there can be a very big stromal infiltrates you can make out. And here also you can see the deciform keratitis sometimes. And the infection may spreads to the sclera also causing episcleritis and vascularitis. And posteriorly it may involve the iris and the ciliary body. and in even the retina is involved causing the severe acute retinal necrosis. So the other nerves, that is third, fourth, sixth nerve or optic neuritis, and in severe most cases all these nerves may be involved causing the encephalitis. So this is how after staining we can see the herpes zoster, the infection. So the chronic phase, the post-herpetic neuralgia, the very severe cruciating pain will be there, which is more experienced during the night, and neuroparalytic ulceration, because as the sensation is lost and the patient is unable to close his lips sometimes. So that time such kind of ulcers will be seen. So the treatment is start with the antiviral drugs 800 mg 5 times a day for 10 days at least, and analgesics and systemic steroids in case of neurological complication, and local therapy in the form of antibiotic and corticosteroids to the skin ointment, as well as antiviral drugs ointment can also be used. Local therapy like anti-glaucoma, topical antibiotics, lubricants, and mucolytics is a must. And surgical treatment in neuroparalytic ulcer, you have to go for lateral trachytherapy, non-healing ulcer, amniotic membrane grafts, or the bandage contact lens with the glue, and lastly, photoplasty. So students, almost we covered the fungal and viral keratitis. Hope you have you understood the topic, and better go and read, especially the Parson I suggest you. Otherwise, you can go with the Kansky also, which has given a very good pictures. Thank you. Thank you.